Hey, this is Sully with Set the Pipe. Welcome back. I am with CK. And then there's Bear. And DDT on the East Coast today. We are joined, well, looks like 2 Demps, but we're going to have 3 Demps on. Keisha, Thomas, and Jade. Welcome to Set the Pipe.
Welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you. We talked about this a little bit right before. The greatest thing about this thing for us that started in the podcast is just telling stories about volleyball, right? Just the love of the game, what it's done for all of us. Talk about current stuff, talk about, old stuff like us. But it's such an exciting story to hear about you guys. And we're so happy to have you on here. So thanks for joining the podcast and coming out here to talk to us old guys here about some volleyball. So appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this one of the first family episodes?
I think so. More than 2. Yes. We had Sully's daughter. We had, my wife, but we've never had more than 2 of a family. So this is definitely a family affair, and it's the first one. So welcome. That's exciting too.
Hey, so we usually do introductions. I usually do that part, but Dave DeTinley on the East Coast usually takes care of his own over there. So without further ado, Dave, you want to go ahead and take it away?
Thanks, Sully. Appreciate it. Hey, welcome to the Demps family. Appreciate it. So we are joined today by the matriarch, Keisha Demps, who was a multi-sport athlete in high school in the Bay Area. She went to University of Arizona for 2 sports, basketball and volleyball, focused on volleyball, was an all Pac-10 honors middle blocker. She also was a member of the U.S. women's national team. She played professionally in Spain, as well as in the United States Professional Volleyball League, and was a member of the U.S. Dream Team and helped the team win the 2000 Millennial Cup International Competition. She's coached at all levels, from the college and university level at University of Nevada, Reno, Boise State, NC State. She coached at professionally with the St. Louis Quest in the USPVL, as well as youth and several clubs here in North Carolina, including the North Carolina Volleyball Academy, as well as she's associated with USA Volleyball as well. She has been a coach at various USA Volleyball high performance programs and has served as a USA Volleyball evaluator for the last decade as well. Keisha, welcome. Jade, her daughter. All right. Wow.
President.
So as a youth, she was a part of the USA Volleyball girls youth training national training team. She was a prep volleyball All-American. She was the AVCA North Carolina Player of the Year, the finalist for the Gatorade North Carolina Volleyball Player of the Year, the winner of the Gatorade North Carolina Volleyball Player of the Year in 2019, Ultra Ankle JVA All-National Team, Ultra Ankle JVA All-American Honors, her high school Female Athlete of the Year, went to the University of Wisconsin. Some of us might have heard of that place. Went to 2 Final Fours and was a member of the 2021 National Championship team as well. I have to say this because I remember watching this from various tournaments, one of them in Detroit in a bar. There was a point where she hit 700 on 20 kills.
That's the semis. Wasn't that the semis?
Against Minnesota, I think?
Well, I have it against Louisville, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Who cares?
Keisha,
she's in the NCAA tournament hitting 700.
It was
what the frick? Insane.
I just had to throw that out there. And in the final, she hit a measly 396 against Nebraska and reported 12 kills as well and won it. And then went on to LSU, where she recorded over 600 career kills and over 120 blocks. So Jade, welcome to the pipe. And now she is in Finland at LP Vempula. I hope I'm even close to saying that right. Playing professionally in Finland and has already been a 3-time match MVP. Welcome, Jade. Thank you for joining us. Thomas, T. Demps. Thank you. Sorry.
T. Demps the 4th, right?
T. Demps
Did we get
the
that
4th.
right?
Yes.
4th.
I'm trying to think. I haven't met T. Demps the 1, right? Number 1, but I know 2 and 3.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So Thomas Demps, welcome. He is a 2-time USA Boys U19 National Team gold medalist at the Norseca Continental Championships in Puerto Rico, and in 25 at the Pan Am Cup as well. He's been JVA Boys All-National Team. He has been that since 23, 24, 25. He was the MVP of the AAU Boys 16 Open National Championships Tournament and a national champion with Triangle 16 Black as well. And I guess your most recent thing is he's committed to Penn State, guys. So the Demps family, just want to say welcome to the pipe.
Thanks
Wow.
again.
I'm glad that we don't have any athletic, prowess out here at all on this.
Yeah.
I ask all of our guests this, and this is different because we have family. So I'm going to ask the mother first and then the other two. When you hear all that stuff about you, what you did, I mean, you go through the grind when we're little, we're all young, you want to be that, but to sit back and hear about what you've accomplished, how does that make you feel?
Definitely pretty good. I've never been one to talk about myself at all. It almost makes me blush. Just hearing everything. So for me, it was never, about awards or accolades or anything like that, where I was born competitive out of the gate. So if you're doing something, I was raised to you do your best to be the best. And so the accolades kind of came as a byproduct of that.
Well, that's awesome. And then the other,
raised my kids to think the same, but
well, it sounds it. And I'm going to ask you two questions. One is, how does it to sit here and hear those things about your mom is the first thing, and then to hear about your accolades, to see what you've accomplished thus far. I'm sure you both have so much more that you want to accomplish, but to really sit back and to go, wow, like, you hit 700 in the semifinals, like you won a national championship at 16s, like you're going to play at Penn State. Like, how does that make you feel, A, to hear about your mom, and then two, to hear about what you guys have done so far up to this point?
Yeah, I'll go first. Definitely with hearing the stuff about my mom, it's really cool because for me, she was always like super good, and I would always talk about like, yeah, like my mom was like on the national team, like she did, or I would always definitely brag about that kind of stuff. But as a kid, sometimes you're also saying things, and I've told her this before, like when you're growing up, you think your parents know everything, and then you reach a point where you're like, do they? And then I reached another point where I was like, oh, she does. She knows what she's talking about, and I'm like, she can back it up. So
yeah,
that's super exciting. And like she said, she was born competitive. And since I was in her when she was young, I was competitive before I was born. So, that's definitely been passed down.
Thomas?
Me too. I would say, like, I was so competitive that I tried to be born as soon as possible. Like I was trying to break a record or something. I just wanted to get out of there. But I just feel super lucky because being from North Carolina, it's not like exactly a volleyball hotbed.
Yeah.
But to have somebody as close as us to her that just has like the knowledge that she has, she was able to give it to us so often and so frequently. And it's like from the point of view, not of a coach, but like from a parent. So like she can tell it to us straight up. And yeah, I just feel really lucky to have her in my corner. And then just hearing all these things, like accomplishments, I feel relieved because like ever since I was young, my mindset has just always been like, I don't know. I never thought about what else I would do with my life other than volleyball. So I'm glad that I'm hopefully on track to make something out of it because
well, you've already
I've
done
just
that.
never thought of I've
One
never thought
national
of
champ. I
anything
think being
else.
committed
So
to Penn State might,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
I'm just-
mean, keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, I'm done. You're good.
No, I was just going to say, like, to listen to your guys' story. I married an athlete. I have two kids that are athletes, but to hear have that ingrained in you both at such a young age, and in the world we live in today, you both, you just played college not too long ago, and you're playing professional. You're about to play college. It's a lot different than when we grew up, Keisha, with the competitiveness and there wasn't 50 games a weekend. And if you lost at 8 a.m., you played at 2 p.m. the next day, which it made it so important. Like if you lost at 8 a.m., it took me 3 weeks to get over it. Back in those days, now they play so much. So for you to instill that in your children, besides being just such great human beings, which it sure seems like right now, is just instill that competitiveness and how to really compete to try to be the best, because you're playing a sport. And when you play sports, you try to win. That's what sports are about. So awesome to hear that. Awesome to hear.
Yeah, this is going to be a crazy interview. This is going to be excellent. So Keisha, let's go back. Why did you get into coaching after your stellar, right? You had a stellar career. You had hoops too. What drew you to coaching?
So funny. I thought I wanted to go into broadcasting. Well, I did want to go into broadcasting. That's where I saw myself. That or complete other direction, a firefighter. So I, yeah,
Okay.
I had two different extremes in my brain. But after my experience playing professionally, I felt like I was at a point. I had been coached by, well, at that time, I truly felt, and I still think, Ari Salinger, when I was with the USPB, one of the, to this day, best coaches in the world. I was just at a point where I felt like I could give back, and that's where my passion still was. Career-wise, I needed surgery on my shoulder, so I wasn't able to continue playing without having surgery at the level that I, was accustomed to. And so coaching seemed like the next logical step in order for me to do something, continue staying in what I love. And I truly enjoy the teaching aspect of it, the training, seeing athletes start at one point and end up in another. Like that's the win for me. So coaching was enjoyable because of that aspect of it.
Got it. And quick question for your kids. When did you ever, okay, because I've got athletes, I've got 4 kids and they're college athletes. And did you ever roll your eyes when your mom told you about certain things in volleyball? Or did you just go with it?
Yes. And I know
Okay,
I'm going to say that he does too,
do.
because I've been there with him. But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yes.
that's what, like, that's the portion of time where I was like, well, does she know everything? When you're still like in like high school, and maybe even a little younger, like, I don't know. And then especially going to the next level, being in college and playing at Wisconsin under a great coach, right? Like, and then I think that was also kind of where I realized that, there's not one way to do everything in volleyball. There are different ways, and like that doesn't mean one is right or wrong. And so like slight differences in technique. It was interesting hearing, from my coaches at Wisconsin and like from my mom, who I trust, right? And so that was interesting, like I said, of where that's when I started to go, okay, yeah, no, she does know what she's talking about. And it was cool to be able to piece together tips that she would give with tips, and things from my coaches and stuff like that. So.
And how about you,
Thomas?
Being the younger one, seeing what your sister got to go through college and listening to her mom and coaches, did it help you? And also go back to Sully's question, rolling the eyes and all of that. I'd love to hear it.
So I'll start with that. I would say I rolled my eyes not out of skepticism, but I knew she was right. And my goal was to try and like get it without her having to tell me.
That's mom.
Okay.
Yes, like I never questioned what she was saying, because especially like the stuff she tells me when I go in to work on whatever with her is the same stuff that they're telling me when I go with like USA. And so I'm like, the stuff it checks out. It's just
My mom
I was hoping that
That's what she's talking about.
Yeah, get a resume, but
Checking on you, Mom.
Yeah.
It's like it checks out what the USA coaches are saying because my mom said it.
Exactly. Not a high school, not a
the other way.
like the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom's kind of legit.
No, Mom's right. Just checking on the
Mom,
USA.
Okay, so you guys are legit because that's what my mom said, and
Right. Exactly right. That way.
So good.
I will add also, one, I actually didn't let either of them play until, well, I waited as long as I could to even
me
let
too.
them play
Yeah.
on
Me too.
purpose. So it's just funny to me always that they gravitated towards volleyball. And Thomas was, and I'm sure you all, since you have kids, have been at club tournaments or whatever, he was the 4-year-old, 5-year-old off on a random open court, swindling some young ladies into peppering with him, and they all thought it was amazing. Meanwhile, in his head, he was like, I'm trying to beat you.
Right.
He was hooked really, really early on. There was a young lady that I used to coach I guess it was last month. We were chatting with her, and she reminded us of a story. I think Thomas was maybe 8, hadn't played on any formal team at all, but he had been wanting to play, and I was like, "Oh, you should try to play in a beach tournament." And I mentioned, "Oh, you can play with this person." With Casey, that is her name. She plays beach a lot. She's pretty good. And his first response was to her, "Are you good?" At the ripe age of 7 or 8.
You got game?
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, you got game because my mom's got game. So if you don't have game, I'm not playing. We're not playing. Yeah,
but that's the competitiveness, right? Of growing up in a household like that of an athlete. You played multiple sports. You played 2 in college. Jade, Thomas, did you guys play multiple sports growing up? Did she have you do that? What was your other sports that you played before volleyball became like just the passion for you?
Jade,
you want me to go? Okay,
you can go.
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
if
you would like to go first, you can go. Yeah, I grew up. I mean, I did basketball. Did I do it before I played volleyball, or was it the
track, gymnastics, track, basketball?
Yeah, gymnastics was clearly short-lived. You know,
Well, yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, our kids too.
Right.
Yeah,
That's like,
but yeah, I did other. But yeah, basketball and track were first, and those were definitely very crucial, I feel like, to my development, and I'm very glad that I did those. It's funny though, because I stopped playing basketball after like 7th grade, and so in my mind, I'm like, oh, I used to play basketball, but then when I talk about it, I feel like those people that are like, oh, I used to play volleyball in, middle school, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh,
I didn't really.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it now. Right. But I'm glad that she made sure that we were well-rounded. I feel like being multi-sport athletes is very important just for your development, and I feel like it also helps with preventing injuries, just to train different, muscles and do different movements. So,
is everyone listening on the pod here? First of all, hit subscribe and set the pipe. But you're listening to an athletic family. You've already heard their accolades, and keep listening to this. But you heard what she just said. Play multiple sports, especially if you're young. Yeah. Don't just specify one sport. You can get to that point. We're going to come to you, Thomas, but I want to go back to you, Jade. When did you play multiple sports? When did you fall in love with volleyball and make you decide to say, this is what I want to do full time after playing multiple sports?
I think basketball fell off first, and so volleyball and track were my things. And I feel like from a young age, honestly, I would say I fell in love with volleyball. Like I think that was probably my favorite sport looking back, just thinking on my enjoyment. Like I enjoyed doing tracks as well, but obviously I'm still playing volleyball, so there's something to that. And so I feel like, honestly, very, very early, I really, really loved volleyball. And then when I was in high school, I was contemplating going to whatever school for both, track and volleyball. But the knees weren't so great at the time. So one of them had to get cut, and it was track.
Oh. So what did you do in track?
Events did you run in track?
I did jumping. That's why the knees thing.
High jump, long jump, triple jump.
I did high jump, triple jump. I did long jump sometimes. My main things, like in high school, I did like all of the field events. So I also did discus, shot put, and then like I said, long jump, high jump, triple jump, and then so there's club track outside of high school, which I did javelin in that, and then I also did like the multi events because they don't have that in high school, but in club they have the multis. So I did the pentathlon and
indoor
probably not a lot of people
heptathlon.
Swing blocking in Finland that have thrown the javelin or the discus. So again, I'm saying when you talk about multi-sport athletes being able to do different things, there's just ways to create plays and make things happen because you've done other things. Again, I mean, javelin was kind of being funny, but it's the truth though. That's cool that you got to do all that. And when you get older and older like me, you look back on those things and you're going to be really happy. Even you already are right now, but when you get older that you were able to accomplish all of those and do those kind of events. Most people don't even get to do one, let alone what you've gotten to do all of them. Thomas.
Keisha, well, real quick, Keisha, I did the same thing. So my oldest was a HEP as well, and she ran track at SIUE mid-major, right? And then my second daughter is doing track and volleyball at SIUE as well. So all jumps. I was a jumps coach for high school, so we're talking the same language here. This is a good interview for me right now. So yeah, Thomas, you're up next, man.
And go back to Thomas. What did you play growing up with multiple sports? And then when did you fall in love with the game of volleyball where you're like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so I honestly just wanted to do whatever Jade was doing at the time.
So did you throw the javelin?
Did you throw the javelin?
I did throw the javelin.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I did track, basketball. She had a cheerleading phase, which I don't know if I
what
you didn't follow in that footsteps.
Also
Sure.
but yeah, I was whatever Jade did, I was in. She did a multi-event, I did multi-events. She did high jump, I did high jump. She did hurdles, I did hurdles, stuff like that. Basketball. Yeah, like yes, she did basketball, but I honestly think I would have been in it either way.
Mm-hmm.
But that also was quite short-lived. I got pretty good. It was kind of boring to me, so I stopped.
Basketball players hate when I'd say that he thought it was boring.
My kids play hoops.
I don't know.
My kids play hoops, and I'm like, man, I just went to a game. I'm like, really? Okay, listen, I played both, so I'm gonna go with
high octane.
Yep.
Thomas, you did tennis too. I remember a tennis phase. Your mom got you into that as well,
current.
right?
Yes.
Oh, that's still ongoing.
Still plays tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he got me into tennis just randomly. That was his thing first, and then I was like, sure. And now, yes, it's
anybody doing pickleball?
No.
Oh, I have tried to get
yet.
Keisha on the court.
No.
Keisha's like, I don't think so.
You know what they did to me one time? They invited me to come play tennis with them. They only had 2 rackets.
Oh, so you chased the ball.
So dodgeball. So you were playing dodgeball, Jade.
I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me count again. 1, 2. I was like, are we doing tournament style? Like, what's going on here?
That is awesome.
I was officiating, I guess.
Tennis is a great game though, and it's actually a little volleyball related too. Lateral movement, depending on your serve with your arm, right? No doubt about it. And
there's a net.
I wish I would have. There's a net. I wish I would have learned to play, really play it when I was younger. Now I'm hurt, so I can't do it anymore. But it's such a fun game. Is it something you'll just want to play, Thomas, just forever, just to to get out there, or are you going to try to really be competitive in it at one point? I mean, I'm sure you're competitive, but I mean, like, play competitively in tournaments just for that kind of stuff, or is it going to be fun for you while you train and become the best volleyball player this country's ever seen?
I mean, yeah, like I don't ever see myself stopping tennis now, just because, like you said, it's so similar to volleyball, where the ball, it never stops. Serving, like, that was probably the first thing I got really good at, because it's just like hitting in volleyball. And I just found it really easy to kind of get better and develop my game. And I'm a big tennis fan now, so I like watching I found that it's helped me with my volleyball game. Just like lateral movement on defense. I feel like I've started sliding now. You know how like the tennis players
Yeah.
slide? I
Mhm.
started
Yeah.
doing
Mhm.
that. Just trying to get to balls, and that aspect, mainly the like how the part that the ball never stops. That was what it was for me with basketball. Was like I hated how you could catch the ball and wait around, and in volleyball, if you're running to the ball, it's because you're going to play it. In basketball,
Yeah.
you could sprint all the way down the court and then there's a turnover and it was literally for nothing.
And then run back down.
That was
You're not a
I
middle
just
and
did
it
not like
shows.
that.
He's
Love
always
her.
wondering. He's been.
Love her. Jade. Big fan right now. Great statement. Great
That is
statement.
great.
You just don't
That
get
is
it. You're a
accurate.
prima donna outside hitter. You're not a middle. I don't have a set this high. I can't really hit like this. Yep. Middles just work.
Did you play for Dave Rubio, Keisha?
I did.
You did.
So
Yeah.
we're still a friend of mine. We keep in touch. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's funny. I was just back for homecoming and a couple months ago. With any coach, normally
Yeah.
there's either players that loved every minute or there's players that were, just, oh my gosh, I hated it. And till this day, I still can't understand why, that others
Yeah.
had an adverse experience. I'll say just because like I said, he was the perfect coach for me.
Yeah.
Especially at that time, and I truly say that he got me to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
Was Steve Walker on the bench?
Steve, he was still on the men's team.
Okay. Yeah, he's a Long Beach guy.
Yeah. So Dave is like a mentor for me. Like he's one of his best friends is John Price, who coached me at Cal State Northridge and then was at Bakersfield for a while. And I'm sure you met John while you were there because he'd come to games. So I still talk to Dave, and he's on a text chain with all the Cal State Northridge alumni because that's where he played too. And I've always had nothing but respect and, consider him a friend as well. And so when I saw your bio and we were talking about it, I had to throw it in there because I was like, if you played for Arizona, you played for Dave. So that's great. Yeah.
And then,
You bring always matadors always come in somewhere for all of our guests. It just makes my heart Yeah.
I have a question for you. What's it like having your daughter play professional volleyball on the other side of the world? Being a parent, you want the best for them, but that's a long ways away. How do you feel about all that?
It definitely is, and it's fun. I get this question often when I share with people once they ask what's Jade doing now, and I say, and they're the eyes get big and they're like, what? How do you feel? I think it's great. I mean, obviously, because I took the same path. That's one thing that I had shared with Jade when she, we first started talking about that was of interest for her. I'm a believer of do it as long as you can because we know that again,
it doesn't last that long. Yeah.
Well, you won't be able to play at a certain level. You can still
Father time.
dabble.
Play pickleball.
So I love it. I love that she's getting the experience just for herself, but also being able to extend her career. It's tough because we were at probably 80% of her college matches. And I plan to try to do the same for Thomas. So that's the hardest part for me is not being able to watch. I even when they were younger with track and everything, I remember I think Jade was 5 in her first track meet, and I'm not an emotional person, and my kids can attest to that. But that first meet, I called my mom and I was almost in tears because I was like, how come you guys never told me this is what it was like to watch your kid do their own thing? And that's always been, I don't know, awesome for me just to watch kids be their own person and compete.
Yeah, you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
You know, and you gotta experience that. When were you at Boise State?
Whew, Boise State. No, 2000. Jade, when were you born? 2002. So
When were you born, Jade?
My kids
That's
would kill
awesome.
me if I asked that.
Oh my gosh, Keisha.
So
We'll
Oh,
edit that out, but maybe
Wow.
Also, when were you
I'm
born?
the same way, Keisha. I do it all the time.
Wow.
I go right through, like, okay, born
You
here.
know, Thomas is going. She knows
yeah,
mine.
you attach.
She
I
knows
know, she
mine.
knows my
at certain
birthday.
times in life. So,
Absolutely.
I was there. I guess it was 2003 to 2006.
Oh, so Robin. Who's her
No,
coach?
Scott Sandel.
Oh, Scott. Oh, okay.
Do you get to
Very-
stream Jade's games? At least do most of them? Okay, yeah.
There's
'Cause
a
I-
streaming channel.
Yeah, I will say, for me, and I'm going to echo this, and a lot of us here are parents as well of athletes, is that's probably my favorite thing is watching my children. We just had my youngest senior night on Friday, like his last, home league basketball game. They'll get some playoff games, but it's surreal because it's over for us. Like, this is our last kid. He's going to go play college basketball, which is great, but college sports is not youth sports, and as you know, but we're going to try to do that as well. I have a question for you because I know how my family is, and Sully and I have talked about that. How is around the holidays and you're playing games? Who wins the games and who's the most competitive out of the three of you? That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough because it's a dog fight in our house. Period. People know
Jade.
that coming in. Other family members, they know if any of us are playing, you better bring your A game. I'll say.
Yeah.
They're back to Thanksgiving.
Jade's face was
Whoever
awesome.
dies
on
Just
that
thinking
day.
through that.
Because I was thinking. Yeah, probably right.
Fair.
Probably.
Fair.
No, because I mean, I don't know. I can't say who is most. What I will say is that Mrs. Keisha has certain family members that she will bring on Family Feud, and certain family members that are barred from coming on the show with her if she ever makes it.
Okay,
So
you have to elaborate.
Also, she
You have to
uses
elaborate, 'cause-
Taboo as a tryout.
Taboo. That's a
Taboo's
great
the
game.
tryout
We just
game?
played that the other day. Taboo's the tryout. Okay.
It's a tryout game.
And also at
It is
Thanksgiving,
tryout.
we played like the card version of Family Feud, and I
How'd
guess
that
that was
go?
another open.
That was another
casting
tryout?
call or whatever.
Ugh.
Who didn't make it, Keisha? Who didn't make it?
No lies are told. You can
My
only lie.
dad.
Your
I
dad didn't make it. Jade Demps the third didn't make the cut. That is awesome.
No.
No.
Benched.
It's cutthroat. We're like that at our house. Like,
That is
cutthroat.
awesome.
You win or lose, and the other thing is, I'm sure it's the same from what it sounds like. Is there's no sense of not hearing it from the person that won either, especially in those games.
Yeah.
Like over a Thanksgiving meal, like if you got that win, that's a great Thanksgiving meal. Like you're going to make sure you let people know that. That's pretty awesome. Amazing. Will you try to play?
We're gracious winners. We don't go, but I am also a sore loser. I'm probably,
Why are you side eyeing?
I hate losing more than I like winning. I will say that. So the win
Okay.
affects me more than winning because this sounds terrible, but I expect to win. So I don't,
It sounds sounds familiar to a lot of us.
Yeah,
And that's,
losing.
losing is just unacceptable. And when you do, it's something that just eats at you forever. And we're the
Yes.
same. A lot of us are, and none of us like to lose. And when you're competitive like that, that's what it does.
And
Thomas,
Jade and Thomas
State.
got.
Going to
Sorry,
Penn
Jade and
State.
Thomas have got to sit back and go. We want dinner tonight, or like, are we going to let her win? We got to live under her. We got to live under the same roof. Like,
No, Thomas is a cheater. He likes to cheat when we
Okay.
play.
I'm
see,
not.
there we go.
No, I'm not. They keep bringing up the same things from when I was 8 years old and under.
And like last
Gracious.
year, like
Gracious losers, huh?
No, no.
Stuffing
Okay,
500
provide an
Monopoly
example, please.
somewhere,
How does he
and you're like,
cheat?
hey, look what
I
I
want to hear how he
found.
cheats.
Provide an
I'm
example.
trying to remember games, but he knows he does. It's like it's been so long
said
since he's
yeah,
been home
but
to
I was.
play.
You were 7. Like you're like calling it.
Yes,
You're like, okay, I was
it
7.
was
I
10
cheated on
years
7.
ago.
Yeah, like I win now, just straight up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Decade ago.
Mhm.
So what's your?
I
go
will
ahead.
say he learned early that yes, he was never going to be able to freely win. We
So you
had
gotta cheat. That a boy, Thomas. Whatever it takes, man.
we
Hey,
had
if you don't
a
cheat, you're not
what were
trying.
we playing? Memory? I think
Memory.
we were playing. Yeah, I think he was 4 or 5. And what'd you say? He got mad because he said,
I
"Mom,
asked
you
if
don't
you
have to win every time." And I was like, "What?"
Yes, I do.
This is
Dude.
That
great.
is awesome.
So you beat me. You beat me. When you beat me, it's fair and square. Until then,
Yeah.
Right.
losing. Sorry, I
Right.
told my kids that all the time. Like, what, Mike? Listen, when you can beat me, you will beat me, and you will, and they did, but not now, not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
And now when we play chess, she asked me if she can take back her moves.
Oh,
And I'm like, nope.
No.
That is true.
Sorry,
Finger
Mom.
off, yeah.
Mulligan? You asked for a mulligan?
See, I know where Thomas got it from. See, Jade,
That's
there it is,
awesome.
Jade. That's where Thomas gets it from, right from the top. I'm just letting you know. Full confession.
That is true.
CK, you had
He's a
something?
much better chess player than I am. He's really
No.
good.
Okay.
So I am
Tennis,
not.
chess, volleyball. You're going to kill it at Penn State. I
No
can't
kidding.
wait to. And that's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. We just talked about your mom playing college and doing all this. Your sister played college, had an amazing run. You're about to play college. What are you most excited about, and what is your goals in the first year to the next 5 to 7 for you?
You got a new
in
coach.
New coach. Yeah, Pavlik's leaving.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was really surprising, but part of the reason I chose Penn State in the first place was not just because of like one coach. Like I loved each and every one of them.
Mm.
And so I knew that whoever would come into the spot, like I would be like, okay, like it's fine. And I'm still like just as excited as I was before to get there.
Mhm.
My goals for when I am there next year, obviously, like I want to have a playing spot. I know with how they roll, they don't care about seniority or anything. It's like they're gonna put the best people out there that are gonna try and win. And you can even see that this year, like they're not afraid to make changes if they see fit. And I just think that's really promising because I know I'm going into a program where I can like try and fight for my spot, and like nothing's gonna be guaranteed. And part of that, like, it's that competitive culture that we grew up with, and it's just really exciting to hear about. Like, I guess in the next 5 to 7 years, I want to probably try and play, or not probably, I do want to play pro. I had this mapped out like a while ago.
When you were
Yeah,
four.
like when you were 11.
When he was 2.
Maybe
Yeah.
before that.
I said 4, but okay, 2's fine.
And just recently, before I thought I wanted to go to Italy because I just love cheesy things and like pasta. But more recently, I've decided on that I maybe want to try and go to like Japan or something, or South
Because you like
Korea.
sushi?
Yes, I love sushi. I
Well,
just
there you
love
go.
Japanese
Forget the pasta,
food.
man. Go with
All
sushi.
about the food.
They got
That's right.
ramen.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
it's
say,
all wherever the
you
I
best
don't care
food
about
is.
the
That's
quality
where
of
I'm gonna
play.
end up.
I get
It's
paid.
about
I
the
got
food.
sushi. I'm done.
Right.
How about the national team? Is that a goal as well to play on the USA team at any time? I mean, you have in the junior program, but is that something of a goal of yours?
Yeah, that's definitely like the ultimate goal for me is to try and get a spot there. But I know I have a lot of work to do because volleyball is kind of like a grown man sport. Once you get up there, like the guys on the team are like 30 to 35, maybe even a little bit older, and they just have so much experience. And that's why they're so good at what they do. And it's like you rarely see 20-year-olds, 21, maybe people that are fresh out of college you'll see, but a majority of them, they just have years and years of experience. And every day that's what I'm working towards when I go to practice or when I go in to get like serve receive reps with her. That's my ultimate goal.
Cool.
Awesome.
Do
Hey,
you
so-
have a favorite volleyball player?
My answer.
I'll
And that big old
say
smile. He's like,
That's
okay,
your
do
answer, Jade.
do I want a good Christmas present or do I not?
I think I know who it is, but I think it's
Wait,
not
I
from
want
the
you to
men's
guess.
team. It
I want
doesn't
you
have
to
to be a
guess.
man.
Is it a man? Is it a man or woman?
I think it's a woman. I would say Maria Louise played on the
No.
Cuban national team a lot, like back when long time ago.
She's up there though, but I would say Destiny Hooker.
Oh, she was legit.
Just I see
Longhorn.
like a lot of similarities. Like she did track and volleyball. She did high jump, which is also something I did.
Yep.
And I just like if you ever see her highlights on YouTube, it's just like
It was gnarly.
Oh,
She's
she
she's
amazing.
makes
good.
it look so effortless.
She's good.
I just love watching them.
It's
Jade,
great
can-
that you watch highlights, though. I'll tell you that. Like that's great that you do that, and I'm sure. Sorry for cutting you off, Sully. And it's the fact that you actually watch volleyball is amazing because most people don't, and
No,
and it's an
they don't.
important piece of growing and becoming an elite athlete is to watch it, not just forced to watch film, but to actually watch the game outside of watching the game. That's cool that you do that. Sorry, Sully.
No, it's okay. Sibling rivalry. So, Jade, you have a natty. Bear and I have a natty. Thomas, you kind of have a natty. Like, who's more legit, Jade or Thomas? Who is it equal? Mom, I'll have you
we
chime in a little
both-
bit because you're laughing. So this conversation has gone in the household. I can tell already. All right, go ahead, Jade. You got the stage because you have the collegiate natty.
Right. So, emphasis on collegiate. That actually might be enough. That might be
That
all I
is-
have to say.
Thomas
good.
is shaking his head.
Yeah,
We
Gotta go,
both
Finland
played
time.
against 64 teams in our field. We've had to face the same number of competition to get there. Actually, we had to play more matches. They only played, 6? We played 12, I think. Yeah,
it's awfully quiet when you're talking
know.
about this, Thomas. I'm just
Well, he's got
letting
4
you
years
know.
still. That's the best part. He
Oh,
still
yeah.
has his career to get there. Like he hasn't had a chance yet.
You got to go through Northridge first. That's my
that's a tough
understanding.
I
one.
will
go through.
say, I think a continental championship and a Pan American
Ooh,
championship
Norseca. Ooh, who's
span
pulling
gold
out
farther
medals there.
than
Norseca?
just national. So
you ever hop on
that's
calls
my-
and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's my sorry. Let me take these off. 1 second."
Jay just goes, sorry, it's chipping because I'm dragging it on the floor when I walk.
Awesome.
It's so heavy.
It's like just one of my shoulders really hurts because this arm is just so heavy, with all the
That's
weight
right.
on
I
this
know.
hand. It's just-
You go through all the airports internationally. You're gonna have to take that off.
Jade,
This,
did you bring
it's
it to
going through
Finland?
no.
The ring? Oh,
No.
hell no.
No.
I kind of same as mom, where rewards, awards, all that kind of stuff is awesome, but I'm like, okay, cool. Next,
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's gathering
Plus,
dust somewhere.
I
in
would
the-
lose it if I brought
Yeah.
those.
Oh,
I would
good
lose
point. You don't want to lose it.
How
Keisha,
far did
so
you
I just
go
making
sure.
when you were in Arizona? How far did you guys go in the tournament? Furthest.
Sweet 16.
Sweet
Yeah,
16?
that was-
Ah.
yeah.
Legit.
And then
Was it 32 then, or was it?
No, it was
bigger?
64.
It was
It was
64.
okay.
It was
Okay.
64, but yeah, that was the furthest any of my teams went. The freshman crew that my senior year, they ended up making it to the Final Four, though. So that was exciting.
Yeah,
Can I-
good stuff. Do any of you two want to go into coaching like your mom?
I've thought about it. I feel like I'm right now on a very different path, so maybe that will end up happening like it
Mhm.
did for her. Because
Yeah.
right now I study animal science. That's my
Oh, okay.
other side to volleyball. So right now that's the plan. But I think I would make a good coach. I think I would make a good coach. So who knows? And I do enjoy when I've done camps or just, helping people, or like little times I help with some team or something, and I give feedback, and then, they do it. And then when when the light switches and you see they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that worked. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, and I'm like, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a great
I like
feeling.
that feeling. So
Animal science meaning veterinarian?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, pre-vet. Okay. Gotcha. What about you, Thomas? Do you have the mentality? Do you have the patience to pursue that career potentially?
I definitely, most likely,
Mm.
like I've only ever thought of myself in volleyball, and like my mom, she would always be like, well, you have to have a plan for when you're done with volleyball. And I'm like, okay, I'll just coach. Or I was
Yeah,
like, or
real
I'll
life
like be a
plan, adult.
commentator or something like that. But it's always been like volleyball for me. So I'd say 90% maybe.
All right. Hey, Keisha, why aren't you broadcasting now? Because we talk about broadcasting quite a bit and how
On
it
the
has
show,
to
we do.
get better. It has to have our people in there that know the sport. Like, I mean, it's still going on today. I mean, so it got better this year. I believe it got better this year. But the color comment, or just the people are like, oh my gosh, that's not even a thing. Like,
Yes.
like what are you talking
it's-
about? Or calling one thing and it's not called this. And like we talked about Bic and pipes, and the women run the pipes, and everybody's like, oh, that's a Bic. And Coley was even in his stands one day. He's like, it's not a Bic. What your daughter just ran was a pipe, right? So, but even like some guy was talking
They're
about
like-
in transition, and this is a transition play, and I'm like, you don't even know what that means. Like,
So-
are you kidding?
It's
So when you
just
brought
the
up
same things
broadcasting,
they've
we
heard.
need our people in there. And we had Holly McPeak on here, and I told her when Holly became that color commentator, whatever, it's probably a decade ago now, like 8 years. I go, she was the first gal that was talking our language. She didn't talk down to us like, okay, so when this happens,
played though. I mean, she kind of knew the game a little bit. Like Holly,
yeah, she's okay. Holly's got a little bit of a background, but it was finally someone that talked to us, the people that are actually who's watching the game, knows the game. She was actually talking our language and all that. So I thought it was brilliant. And it has gotten better, but we need more. So when you brought up the fact that you were even thinking about it, just wondering if you would ever be interested in trying that out, because we need it.
I think definitely if the opportunity presented itself, but and I was laughing immediately when you started talking about the people that shouldn't necessarily be.
Absolutely, put it out there. No, yeah.
When we're watching matches, it drives me nuts sometimes. I'm like, wait, what did they say? That's not, to your point, that's not even a thing.
It's not even a thing.
So absolutely, like if the opportunity was there, it's something that I would look into. I think Thomas, as you asked him, kind of future plans.
Mm-hmm.
I see him actually doing that more so even than coaching. He's literally a volleyball junkie. He's the volleyball Google, if you will.
Sure.
Anything from, I don't know, the past 10 years or more at the ripe age of 17, and he would spit off stats and tell you all kinds of things. So
stats from my club season, 12's year.
Really?
Yeah, it's truly
He's
amazing.
like, yeah, remember when you played CJ LSU and then like it went to 3 sets and then this happened? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't remember that? He's like, I was
Number
3.
12,
I remember
this. Yeah.
Yeah, she did this. It was after she did this, and then I'm like,
it's a double-edged sword for me, because first and foremost, for women's volleyball especially, sorry Thomas, we all played men's, but the women's game is blowing up, and it's exciting because hopefully the men's game will come with it. What the problem is it's on ESPN Plus, right? So every game's on ESPN Plus. They don't have enough people like you, Keisha, or me, or Sully. So what we need to do is, again, we're not going viral yet, but maybe we will here at Set the Pipe, is we need to get the volleyball community that's pushing these events, right, on ESPN Plus, to get local folks in these markets to come out and do it. Now, you probably, maybe you haven't, I haven't really studied broadcasting, but I can tell you that I could get on a match study for 20 minutes of I'm doing a women's game, who the women are with the numbers and their names, and talk the game of volleyball while it's going on. Right.
Yeah.
And so you could do, right. And so that would be beneficial for our sport to have more commentators like that. Now, the positive is it's awesome that it's on ESPN Plus and we're watching games, and you can sit with your 12-year-old daughter or 4-year-old daughter and watch the games, even though we're not really happy with what's being said all the time. Hopefully the evolution of the growth of the game, which is through the roof right now with women's, we can get more of that happening. Because I mean, I'll watch a lot of games on ESPN Plus for basketball, and there's people that don't even know what they're talking about for basketball too. And it's the game thing. There's just so many games. Where do you get all the broadcasters? So I'm going to say, like, since you're in North Carolina, if there's any games in your area in college, I think that ESPN Plus should be calling you and having you do the games, whether they're paying you a lot of money or a little. I think it's important, because if we're going to continue to grow this game, which we all want to, and that's why we're having you on here as well to do this, we have to step up and start helping the people that don't know about volleyball, right? And so that comes with more people that know it and explaining it more and being able to express it more and talk through the game. So I'm voting for you to get some more games where you're at. Sully, maybe you can bring her on to your new endeavor and have her do some games over there too. But it's important. And Thomas, I'd love to see you get into that field, because by the time you're done with playing volleyball, which is 15 years from now, 20 years, whenever you're done, like you said, in the 30s, this game is going to be, if not the most popular game, clearly for the women in this country. It's going to be by far for men as well. And it's just growing nationally, internationally. There's going to be so much opportunity for young men like yourself as the game continues to go. And you could call the men's or the women's game, right? If you decide you're a junkie, like you said, you know what Jade was doing when she was 10, just jump right over there, because there's not a lot that know what they're doing, and the game's all over the place, right? It's just everywhere you look, it's on TV. So that would be just my suggestion for you, Keisha. Like, we got to get you and folks like you that know the game so well, love the game, have had your kids and your whole life being an integral part of it, to call a game on a Saturday, right? When, I'm not sure exactly where you live in North Carolina, but North Carolina's playing Duke in the ACC for a women's match.
Duke just got a new head coach. You're wearing an NC State volleyball sweatshirt right now, so you have an in there. Not like, totally not kidding. Like, we need people like you that are even remotely interested, but know the game, right? I think we owe it to ourselves, and I agree with CK. Thomas, you could be at perfect timing by the time you get out, because the statistics we had with Dave remind me, the North Carolina gal that came on here, she's a big advocate for boys volleyball. Sarah Conklin, we had her on, and talking about the growth of high school boys volleyball is by far outdoes any other sport in high school right now. So the momentum is coming. Just the colleges and the coaches in college, and we talked about this before, a little bit of a tangent, but the men who played in college, myself, right, need to push that up the chain in the administration. We have the gym, we have the nets, we have, to grow this thing. And we're in Title IX compliance. Why aren't we doing this, right? Especially with this growth in high school coming up. So Thomas, this might be perfect for you, man. Another 5 years, good stuff.
Agreed.
Jade, can I ask, how was the transition from college, U.S. college, to the pros over in Europe? Was that a much easier process than you think it is, or how difficult is it, even in today's internet age? Like, what was that like?
I think, honestly, I feel like for me, and I've just ended up in a really perfect place. So I feel like it was pretty easy for me. Like, the club that I'm at right now is really great, and they take really good care of us, I feel. And like, the league itself has, pretty good competition. So it's like perfect to start out in. This is, I think, really, really great place for professional volleyball players, for women to start out, for sure. And it's also nice because everyone speaks English here. Even in small town, like, that was definitely huge. I remember I was quite nervous, and I actually, when I finished with my last season at LSU, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep playing at all. Like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep playing. I wasn't sure if going to Europe, living there would be for me, or even, anywhere else. I didn't know if that was going to be something. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, well, if I can find something, if someone, wants me to come play, why wouldn't I get paid to go live in another country and play a game? Like, so when I looked at it like that, I was like, I can literally play games and get money and live in somewhere else. I was like, I'll try, at least see. And it, again, perfect situation, I think, because, since the collegiate season is over in the fall, right, December, I went here for like the last couple months of the season. So I got here January last year, spent like 2.5 months living here. So it was like the perfect trial run. And I really enjoyed myself. And I was playing opposite last season and the last couple years even, but I wanted to play outside again. And they, wanted me to come back as an outside. So I re-signed with them. And like I said, I had a great experience anyway. And so far this season has been great. And I feel like I've really accomplished what I wanted to do with this season of, getting some experience, getting some film of myself on the outside, like getting back that confidence and that love for the game, because especially since I'm kind of just doing volleyball now, as opposed to, doing school and volleyball, because that is so taxing. It really, really is. And like, I'm glad I went through it. But when I tell you I have dreams that I have an assignment due, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay.
I strive to get to that point in life.
I do. And I'm like, oh, my life is just volleyball. Like, so I think it's been really good.
Good.
That's awesome. Thomas, you got something?
I just have a question for Jade. Like, do you feel like your home is in Finland now, and like when you come back in the summer, like you're like visiting us, or do you still feel like home is like here and then you're just away at work in Finland?
That's a good question. Especially because I've been living away from home for multiple years now, just even through school, and I feel like I've always I feel wealthy and I have multiple homes. So this is my winter stay, my winter lodging.
Your summer home in the United States.
My summer home in North Carolina, exactly. That I feel truly, I feel like I have made this my home, especially because preparing for the winter, I was like, I'm going to decorate my room and make it look nice so that I actually am comfortable being here. So I do feel like I've kind of made it my own, but I also right now especially I'm ready to finish the season. I'm really excited to see how we do, but I'm excited to come home as well. I'm definitely excited.
How much longer in the season?
So the regular season is over like March, or I think the end of February, and then we have the playoffs, so that's March or April, just depending on where you place is when it's done. So it's really not that much time at all. Like I said, it's been a year since I first got here now, which is already crazy on its own, and just time has flown by. So
did you have to get an agent early in the process to get over there and get connected?
Yeah, I actually it worked out well because my mom, her being volleyball wizard, knows Tim Kelly from Bring It, and this
TK,
again,
I was kind of leading this because I knew there was a connection here. So
should I'll let you take the connection. Yeah, so she had great connections with Tim Kelly, and then I actually met the Nick, who is my agent. He works with Bring It as well. I met him on our LSU. We did a foreign tour my last season. So I met Nick in Prague when we were there, so it was kind of perfect. And then when I was done, we reached out, and I was like, hey, like, so that's how.
Nick's a great guy, by the way. I just got back from Europe and a 2-week trip with him. So,
oh, really?
Fantastic guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
He just had his second baby, by the way, in case you're wondering.
I know. We've been talking about him. And it's funny. I'm like, you're still finding time to talk to me, and you have a baby. Like, thank you.
Great guy.
Tim's a friend of the podcast here, and
Yeah.
we played against him in college, and he played with my wife was playing at UCLA when he was there, and we've had him on here, and he's done so much for so many, and it's great that he wants to continue to grow the sport and help the sport out, and he's doing a lot of things with so many people, whether it's college teams and high school teams. Now he's doing trips to the Philippines and to Africa, and he's doing so many things to grow the game. So it's always great to have Tim Kelly's name just brought up somewhere anytime on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thomas, what do you got? What do you got the rest of this year? Is North Carolina high school volleyball the same as California, like in the spring, or is it already done for high school? Do you even have high school before you go?
Oh,
So
go.
they're starting to get some, but I think a majority of schools don't have it. So what we do is we have like local tournaments when the rest of the country is kind of on hiatus, and our last like kind of
Club.
Club.
oh yeah, for club, our last kind of bigger tournament is Pittsburgh coming this weekend, and it's not like a national tournament, but you've got some like good clubs from like the Midwest and East coming. So I think that's like the last bigger tournament before everybody goes on break. I know California's already started their high school.
They did.
Other than that, we just keep practicing.
And then play
like I said,
JOs or
nobody's-
whatever AAUs when it comes to the springtime, and then you get to do that, and then you're
Right.
off to college, right?
Right. We've got like we're doing the North Carolina All-Star thing, and then we've got SoCal Cup we're going to this year.
Mhm.
And yeah, nationals. And I might do the coach for like the southern region volleyball thing. Like I've been talking to him a little bit, so I might do that.
Are you
I'm
still
not
in the
too sure about
pipeline
that
too,
one yet.
Thomas? The NTDP pipeline? So you got that
Oh,
woven in all
yes.
this stuff too?
Right. So NTDP is at the end of this month in like March 1st. So I'll be going to that, and I actually don't know because they're changing up the age groups, so I don't know how my age group will line up with the national team this year. So I guess I'll probably find that out at NTDP.
So your team that won the 16s is it the same team? Will you have a chance to win this year? And as your 18s, do you guys have a chance to win it all?
Yeah, we do actually. It's pretty much the same team. We have some new additions, and we actually just got a new middle from St. James. His name's Peter, and he's going to Stanford, and he's really helped us out a lot. But our last tournament in Phoenix, we are like regularly, we got 5th, but we're regularly beating like the top teams. And I know our day 2 pool had the 2 teams that were in the national championship last year, and then us, and then one other team, and we ended up winning the pool. So it's like,
So you're right there.
right, we're right there. But we ended up losing to the team that won the tournament. So
From Illinois, right? 6:30.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was really mad because we've beaten them like 3
Twice
times
already this season.
before.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
you're like, oh,
They got on a
But
roll
yeah,
in
they're
that
a good
tournament.
team.
They played,
Right.
I would say.
will you come
They
out to the
played
SoCal
really
Cup,
well.
Keisha? When Thomas comes out here? Do we
Yep,
have
I'll be
dates on that? Do we know?
Yeah.
If
It
you don't
is-
have them, I can
I
look
can
them
get
up.
it. I can send it to him, Keisha, if you want.
Because
Okay,
Bear,
yeah.
Bear and myself live out here. I would love to come watch you play. I'd love to meet you in person, go to dinner, whatever the case would be. But more importantly, just come watch some high level volleyball and get a chance to watch you play. Do you guys ever play Rockstar? And are they one of the best teams too, or not the best teams?
Yeah, they are. They lost to 6-3-0 right after we did. So in the
Okay.
semifinals, we've only played them once in 16s here at I think it was the semifinals of the Chicago tournament
First
in
term.
the beginning of the year. And we lost to them there. Yeah, that's the only time we've played their top team.
Yeah, Mateo Furbringer and his parents are some of our best friends. So I
Yeah.
cheer for them. And
Okay.
Wisconsin, Charlie's there now, at Wisconsin setting there. So I was curious because I've seen them play a little bit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's exciting. I now have some club volleyball to come to and watch you play. So I'm fired up for that.
Hey, so to wrap this up, this is kind of a question for all three of you, because one missed it totally and the other one missed it kind of, I think. The whole NLI stuff going on, right? Getting paid to play. Keisha, you didn't get paid.
Would have gotten paid a lot playing two sports too.
Jade, did that affect you because you're the most recent? And Thomas, yeah, you're in guys volleyball. I'm not thinking they're going to be writing you a check anytime soon, but they could be. I don't know. What do you guys? Yeah, and then your philosophy on that, Keisha, coming from, looking back and currently where it is today, because NLI is, I mean, now it's just NIL. Sorry, NIL. Now it's just being paid like you're professional in college. So Mom, let's start with you, because you have a different perspective, I think.
My brain comes at it from two different perspectives as a mom, but then as a prior coach, I kind of still watch volleyball even as with my coaching brain. But NIL, I am not opposed to it, just because of the reason it began in the first place. The NCAA was getting sued because they're making millions and millions. And these kids, sometimes were not able to generate anything. And we're losing their scholarships in a lot of situations because of the restraints. However, I believe that there should be some constraints and should have been put on the whole thing in the beginning, whether the funds were put into a trust for the student once they graduated or something to that nature. And maybe, they received a stipend each month from it. There should have been something else.
Guardrails.
Yeah, exactly. Because now, I'll use like football and men's basketball as examples. And in some cases, some of the women volleyball players as well, they're making more as a college player than they would when they do go to the pros. And there's a lot of other things, I think, driving the dollar amounts that are being thrown out there. And from a coaching perspective, I still have a lot of friends that are coaching. It's, that's harder than recruiting to a junior college, because you have no idea who you're going to have from year to year. So I like the idea, but definitely need some guardrails.
Yeah, the transfer portal as well. Jade, you just missed it, right? Or did you get a little bit of it?
Yeah. So I think it was either I'm trying to remember if it was like the end of my sophomore year, because I'm pretty sure it was really the beginning was my junior year, because I was still at Wisconsin. So I think, junior year. Honestly, she kind of stole exactly what I was gonna say, because I do look at it from two sides. I see a lot of benefit to it, and like even from hearing from other athletes that I know of how this has allowed them to bring in extra money that they can use for their family. Like stuff like that is really, really awesome. And I think it's super important, especially, to be able to profit off of ourselves instead of just being like tools, almost like to, have your brand, have your name, and to be able to do something with that. But yeah, I think that it got maybe put into play too soon. Like I don't think that they fleshed out all of the fine tuning and the details enough. And now you can't really go back on some of that stuff, because it's hard to take back those things and go, oh, no, because people are going to be like, no, like that's my right to this, instead of like if it was already set in the first place, and then we could loosen some of those, guardrails. Like if you started with it being more strict and then slowly figured out what is okay to let up on. So that's kind of my take, is that
Did you get any money in the settlement since you were playing at that time through the NCAA settlement? Are you getting any of that? If you don't know, you might want to look, because you played in that time of 19. When did you play college? What exact years?
She's eligible. She needs to look into it.
Yeah. So like my son played basketball at UCLA and then his last finished up at Eastern Washington, but he has a pretty decent amount of money he's getting from the settlement. Now it's still going through and they're going to pay you each year, and that's something you can worry about. But athletes like yourself are part of that. And since you played at two huge schools, you weren't playing like at Northridge, you were playing at Wisconsin and LSU. And so those are two high major Power Five. So I would definitely look into that. You just go into a website, fill it out, and you can figure out and decide how to work through that. But that's great for you. Now, Thomas, you're a new athlete. You can market yourself. I'm going to say something afterwards because I want to hear from you, because I'm with you, Keisha. But you're going to Penn State as of today. Men's volleyball aren't writing the $8 million checks like Demps is getting at BYU for hoops, and right now they're not doing that. Maybe they will. So, how are you looking at it from entrepreneurial perspective, going to a school like Penn State, that's giant school, well known around the world, playing a sport there? How are you going to try to capitalize on it? Tough question.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on with the NIL. That's probably more of a question that my mom can answer, because I don't really know the details of if they
is there someone that's a big athletic department? Is there nowadays, people in the athletic departments that help athletes navigate these waters? Or
there are.
LSU had a pretty.
Did they?
Yeah, LSU had literally, it's called NILSU.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, and like I've done a couple NIL deals. That's one thing I regret, I will say, is I didn't take advantage of NIL as much as I should have. And I think a bit of it was because it came like halfway through my career. So I was kind of like, what is this? And I was honestly very scared of like committing tax fraud. I was like, I don't want to go to jail. So
Fair.
I definitely should have done more. But when I went to LSU, they had a really, really good department for that. It was very fleshed out and there was a lot of information. So I felt more comfortable and I started to get a little bit more into that, but I was only there for 2 seasons. So there are schools that have it. And because I think LSU prepared really well for it, because they had already started to get the ball rolling on it before NIL even really became a thing. So then when it released, they hit the ground running.
Well, the SEC has the most money, so they were the smart ones to do it, I would think. And I would think with Penn State, like Thomas, I think you're going to be okay in regards to overall at Penn State. The only thing I would say, and I'm sure your mom's already there, because I have a son that's right where you're at. He's a senior in high school and he's going to be a freshman next year. He's playing basketball, so it's a smidgen different in regards to the cost from the revenue sharing. But, go back to what you said, Keisha, and we talk about this all the time, and I'm very passionate about it. And I feel that the athletes deserve money. And I've said that since when I was playing 1,000%, and no one can deter me differently from that. With that being said, the way it is today is ridiculous. And the whole thing about NIL is, and this is what I was going to say to you, Thomas, and I'm sure your mom's doing it, but if not, I can tell you this, is it's supposed to be for you. It's supposed to be your name, your image, and your likeness. It's not supposed to be from the boosters. It's not supposed to be for the revenue sharing. They lost the court case, so they had to pay that. So I would say, like, I would go out and build your brand. I would go to every place in Penn State, tennis place, volleyball, go make $1,000 from this brand, go make $500 from this brand, go post for this brand. When my son was at UCLA, he got all his laundry for free. All he had to do was post. He'd just get clothes from brands and get $500. You're in college, $500 and some clothes. How cool is that, right? All you have to do is a post. So that's the way it should be paid. And I would say I would go after it from that regards. It's a tough one, and they will change it, because it's ridiculous what's happening right now. It's going to become professional. There's going to be collective bargaining agreements. There's going to be contracts. That's the only way to go, because they've lost every lawsuit and they're not going to go back, which is a shame that it's come to that. But at the same time, it's the NCAA's fault for not paying long time ago for the name, image, and likeness, where they could have solved it from that. But that's my.
Are there guardrails now? There's almost nothing, right?
No.
Well,
yeah,
It's
ish.
not really. I'm going to say.
No,
they're trying to put things in, but to your point, CK, they're so far in now that
Yes.
the voices that are the loudest still
Yeah.
are parents and the athletes, or their agents rather. And so it's going to be really hard for them to get this back in the bag.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah,
kind
it really is. I mean, they did
don't
the
they get
revenue sharing,
sued for everything they try to do,
and they're
anyways?
still
Like,
getting sued. So
yeah.
they the revenue thing is they said, okay, they're given a cap, a revenue cap, and then anything over that cap. So let's just use, LSU. They can spend 20 million. Let's just make it easy, and they give 8 million to football. 10. So that's what it's supposed to be, the cap, as they said. However, if I'm the athlete at LSU and the Chevy dealership wants to pay me $1 million and gives me 3 cars, I can still do that. That's still over the revenue cap. So that's not really a cap. They said, oh, it's a cap, but it's not really a cap because I could go make $1 million from Chevy.
Yeah.
But there's supposed to be rules now that are supposed to be governing that piece, saying like, there's a cap. You have to really produce something that you're earning that money for. But again, I could just go, here's a post. I earned my money. I went to a camp for 10 minutes and served a volleyball and said, hey, do this. I worked a camp. They paid me $1 million. So it's really it's a cluster, and it's going to continue to be for quite a time. So make as much as you can, Thomas. That's what I would say.
Thomas, you got to think about it too. You're the stats guy. I would immediately go to and see what they do for broadcasting for Penn State women's volleyball. Sit down right next to him and be the stat guy that gives them to the broadcasters. That could be your in right away. Do 4 years of that, 5 years of that. That's a good resume builder, man. And get paid for it for something that you're natural at. You don't overlook that. That might be a nice little in for you. So fellas, this has been over an hour. The Debs, all the way from Finland. That's crazy. On Set the Pipe. We appreciate you guys coming on. It sure was fun. Nice little family banter. But again, thanks for joining Set the Pipe.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
You guys were fantastic.
It was
and
great.
if you ever want to come on again, and we mean this, we say this to everyone.
Yes,
Thomas, if you're out in SoCal, when you're out here, I'll give you a little mic up for that. But if you guys, something's going on and you're about to play something, Jade, you're in the finals and you just want to share it, we would love to have you back on. Keisha, you're about to do a game that someone's going to call you after this episode and say, yes, we want you to do a bunch of games. Whatever the case, we would love to have you back on, all 3 of you together, one at a time, whatever the case would be. You're always welcome to come on Set the Pipe and share your stories and just tell more, because thanks for coming. What great stories.
Wonderful.
Great people. And keep rocking it. Shooting for the stars.
yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Dave, for thinking of us.
You got it.